A dissection kit. I don't know why people buy those kind of ads from me. We are going to call Patricia Bossano.
Hello?
And I believe there's Patricia Bossano. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really good. How about you?
Pretty good, actually. Let me grab our co-host here, Jaybird Wells, bring her into the conversation, and we will do some chitty-chatting here on our big program here on iHeartRadio, AMFM247.com, TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. And also, still to come, we are going to be talking to Divided Minds on, I don't know how the hell we're going to do this today with 3 phone numbers, and I only have 2 lines, but we'll figure it out. We're going to be talking to Michael Lewis from KJRadio.com and the band Drifter, and just waiting on Jay to join us, but while we wait on her, we've got Patricia Bossano. Check out patriciabossano.com. Blog Your Book Into Existence is the topic today, and Patricia Bossano is an expert translator. She's an interpreter, an award-winning author of the fantasy novels, and she's a supernatural enthusiast, and she joins us today here on our big program. Now, first of all, Patricia, how can you leverage your book to get free publicity? Let's start there, my friend.
Okay. Well, as an indie author, I think I've learned in my journey that I need to work every step of the process of the writing process, that is, and
yes.
So I try to share with my audience all the struggles and all the successes I experience in a day. It's like, oh my gosh, I completed, 500 words today, so excited, or, every bit of it I try to share, because then you're engaging with that audience and, making them interested in your project. When I've completed my advanced review copies, then I begin my search for beta readers and try to get my editorial reviewers up there and create campaigns to offer a limited number of those advanced reader copies so that I can get my reviews. As the manuscript nears completion, then I'm starting to promote my launch dates and that sort of a thing. And then once the book is out, then of course you go through and you do your promotions, right?
Fantastic. We've got Patricia Bossano with us today. Check out patriciabossano.com. And I believe Jay has joined us. Jay, how are you, my friend?
Well, I'm here. Just listening to another author,
Now, patriciabossano.com, by the way, check her out. The award-winning author of the fantasy novels Fairy Sight, Cradle Gift, and Nahia. And she joins us today here. Naya joins us today here on our big broadcast.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, how can publishing a book help you gain exposure for your career and your business?
Well, a book is my final product, my goal, right? And so, and I think exposure gain is proportional to the efforts I make using the tools available to me. And the most important tools that authors have are, social media, blogs, mailing list contents, all these things, and then of course the relevant events that we participate in, like book signings or festivals, conventions, local street fairs, you name it, right? Radio programs, all of that we use to all of those things that we participate in, we will also promote through our social media channels. So when you publish a book, once you have that finished product, then gaining exposure, it becomes the goal, right? Gaining exposure for that finished product that you have.
We've got a great guest with us today. Patricia Bossano joins us here on our big broadcast, and she is a bilingual communicator. She's an expert translator and interpreter and a supernatural enthusiast. Her website, patriciabossano.com. That's patriciabossano.com. Now, what are some of the steps that are needed to be taken to become a successful writer or successful author, Patricia?
Can we back up here a second?
Yes, go ahead. Jump in there, Jay. Anything you want, jump in there.
Translator for what? What do you translate?
My language combination is English and Spanish, and so the translation and interpreting that I do ranges from, medical documents to essays or anything that people need translated, right, in the corporate world or that sort of a thing. I don't do legal translation or interpreting. But other than that, marketing, business. I also developed a Spanish program, kindergarten through 8th grade, and I was a Spanish teacher for a few years.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I sat there and found out that the best way of teaching kids was to, go out to your local your DVD collection and just flip over the language to the different languages and just immerse them in the language as much as possible. But there is a time and place for books and programs too.
I completely agree with that. I think that immersing people in the target language is the most effective thing. The most effective way of learning that language. So, yeah, I used to do that with my kids, too, where we would flip that language on the Disney videos that we watched. And
oh, boy, over the years, they've gotten better because, boy, when they first came out, those languages kind of sucked. But now that they're doing a really good job in having something more authentic sounding.
Well, Disney movies in particular, they go through and they do the translation of the songs and everything because when those movies are shown at the movie theater.
It used to irritate me when you'd sit there and you listen to the characters talk and then a song came on and it switched back to the original language. It was like, what? Yeah, they fixed it so much since then.
Yeah.
We have Patricia
Soap
Bossano.
opera is another great way to pick up the Spanish. Sorry.
Yeah, I whenever I go to my Mexican friend's house, I sit there and try to watch it. It's just not the same as watching a good old cartoon. You already know what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got Patricia Bossano with us today, and also Jay Bird Wells. Go ahead, Jay.
Quick story. My son, when he was 3, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he begged and pleaded for A Knight's Tale. And we watched that stupid movie in the hospital for 2.5 weeks straight, 5 times a day. And when we got home, I flipped it on in Spanish, and then he had me memorize it in Spanish, and then it was French. By then, I was pretty much well-versed in English, Spanish, and French for Knight's Tale.
I love that movie.
We've got Patricia Bossano with us today. She joins us live here in our broadcast. She has contributed to the Tales from Beyond anthologies, and she joins us today, patriciabossano.com. And is it a struggle to get people to read in the new world of instant technology there? What do you think about that, Patricia?
I think that people love to read. It's just a matter of how they go about it, I think one of the important things is that you need to know your audience so that all your efforts are targeted to that audience. But once you've defined who your readers are going to be, that audience is going to be segmented depending on their preferences. Some people like to read blogs. Some people will opt for commentary that comes in less characters, you know, like they do all their reading on social media. For readers of books, you have the people who need to have a book in their hand and smell it, you know, and then there's those who like to use an electronic device, or others who will listen to your book. I think what's important is that you, as an author, cover your bases so that your product is available in all those different mediums, right? So you need to have your physical books, you need to have your electronic books, and then an Audible as well, or CD, or, you know, the book on tape old thing. Unfortunately, I don't have my books narrated yet. I hope that I will one of these days, but
We've got Patricia Bossano with us today. She joins us live here on our broadcast here on AMFM247.com, TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty, of course, iHeartRadio. What made you want to become a writer there, Patricia?
well, I think that I may have been born one. I am way more comfortable. Well, because I think that we're all communicators. We all just want to communicate in any way we can, and it's a matter of how you feel more comfortable communicating. And I have to say that I'm so much more comfortable communicating and writing than otherwise. It gives me a lot more time to think through what I'm going to say. There's that editing bonus time, you know, and I think that whether I'm working on a novel or writing a text message is,
That's when you can
I
hit
like
the
to have
delete
that time
button.
to think about it.
You're like, I shouldn't have written that. Delete.
I know. Well, especially if you're working with autocorrect, right?
Oh, man, do you know how
I
many
mean, it's like,
times
"Whoa."
you sit there and you type something up and you get ready to post it and autocorrect changes a keyword to some stupid thing?
You know what's horrible? When you hit that send key and then it didn't change it as you were typing it, but somehow
Yes.
it changes
changes
it later.
it,
I don't
yes.
know. I think that my phone is possessed sometimes.
Yes, I think they're all possessed. I think Autobots and Decepticons really do exist.
We've got Patricia Bossano with us today, and as we wrap up here, Patricia, how do we find you on social media, websites, all these things?
Well, my website is patriciabossano.com. I am on Facebook as Patricia Bossano Author. Twitter and